In 2014, Peter Brown released a video, How to Make a Free-Floating Tardis. A video that he almost didn't post because he wasn't really that happy with the final result. But I was very happy that he did post the video because it inspired me to make my own. Several of my own, in fact, one of which I actually sent to Peter.
He actually made a box. He printed up a box, and it is stunning. And it's actually a box.
Shortly after making my version of the floating TARDIS, I found an even older video from Steve Ramsey where he made a heart in a heart picture frame. And I thought this would combine perfectly with the free floating TARDIS concept. In 2016, for Valentine's Day, I actually attempted to make the levitating heart in a picture frame, but I never finished it. I'm pretty sure it broke. An issue with sanding wood with embedded magnets on a belt sander. It'll want to stick and, well, bad things will happen. So I shelved the idea for several years, until this year, I decided it's time. And now that I've figured out how to cut wood on my laser, I can try making it with that. Now, while a majority of this project is made with the laser cutter, it is much more than just print and assemble. All the time I would have spent in the shop, I instead spent at the computer creating the laser files. I actually spent several days working on the design. And as my laser cutter can barely cut thick cardstock, let alone wood, this 1.6mm basswood is about the thickest thing I can cut. So I have to cut out and stack several layers to get the thickness I want. Now, in my first attempt, I really wasn't happy with the amount of levitation I was getting. For one, just due to the shape of the heart, the magnet couldn't be right at the top, so I'm already losing about 8 or 9 millimeters of perceived levitation. So I decided to increase the size of the outer heart so I could use a larger magnet. I also figured I could decrease the weight of the inner heart by, instead of using 6 layers, 2 outside hearts and 4 skeleton hearts, just use 2 skeleton hearts and then have the magnet hole go through the outside hearts, as that will get covered up by the veneer anyway. I also decided to cut the inner heart out of some lighter weight balsa, just to try and decrease the weight as much as possible. And as a quick update, I got a sheet of laser-safe acrylic to put on the top of my laser enclosure, so now I can look into it without burning my eyeballs up. Still, not a bad idea to wear the glasses anyway. Right after completing it, I pretty much immediately changed a few things. First, I decided to swap out the fishing line for essentially magician's thread. Now, unless you have a specialty shop in town, you're probably not going to be able to just go out and buy some. You'll have to order it online. However, there is a pretty accessible form of magician's thread, and that is one of these guys. I found this at Michael's Arts and Crafts for just a few dollars. But as you can see, it's considerably thinner and softer than the fishing line, and definitely on black almost completely disappears, where the fishing line will just always continue to catch the light. A second upgrade that I made, I remembered that my Tardis design actually made the Tardis removable, so it just kind of snapped in place onto the string. So to do that here, I removed one of the tiny metal beads from some metal chain, dabbed a little bit of super glue on it, and then glued it onto the end of the magician's thread. So now we have a thread with essentially a magnetic end. So it's just a matter of putting a small magnet in the bottom of the heart. And now it can easily be removed and put back on the stand. Well, I'm very happy to have finally made this project a reality. I think it came out really cool. I'm really excited about all the possibilities for this kind of design. I think it'd be really neat to do a Tardis in this style. I think this could probably be exponentially expanded upon. I think trying some even larger magnets to try and get some more distance between the pieces would be really cool. But a huge thank you to Peter Brown and Steve Ramsey for the awesome inspiration for this project. You definitely should go check them both out if you never have. My sincere thank you for watching. Once again, I am Nick D. Clements. If you're wondering, Nick is short for Nicholas, and the D stands for Deena. Anyway, I'm off to make something else.